either going to be true or false. So say that 3 plus 6 equals 11 is true, or we say it's false. So this is a statement. So what is not a statement? A statement is not an opinion. Okay, so all flowers are roses. That could be true or that could be false. So that is a statement. The team will win the pennant. That is an opinion. So that is not a statement. Decide whether the statement is compound. So compound is where you have a statement and then a connective. So compound statement. True or false. And then connective. And that could be and or upside down looking roof or V looking symbol, not. That's a tilde looking symbol, or if, then. So those are all connectives. And then another statement. Again, true or false. So we're saying that square root of 4 is rational and square root of 9 is irrational. We could say that would be a compound statement, right? Because we've got a statement, and then a connective is and then another statement. Okay, 22 plus 45 does not equal to 51. That is also a compound statement because you got a statement, and then a connective is not equal, and then another statement. So that is considered compound. Okay. Simon and Garfunkel song, not a compound statement because Simon and Garfunkel is the name. It's not a statement, connective statement. So that is not a compound. Write the negation for the statement. So she earns more than me. The negation would be she does not earn more than me. Okay, next, write the negation of the inequality. So let's look at the board. And here, there we go. You got a statement, negation. So we would say A was greater than B, then the negation would be A is less than or equal to B. So if you're saying C is less than or equal to D, then the negation would be C is greater than D. So the statement is going to flip, and you're going to have, if the statement does not have an inequality, then the negation will have the inequality, and you flip the inequality sign. Here we have less than or equal to, so here we have an equal to sign, so you flip the inequality, and then you do not have the inequality sign. So either you have the inequality or you don't on this, either the statement or the inequality. So when you're saying 4 is, or x is less than 4, then the negation would be x is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so if we were to look at then here's a number line, and here's 4. So here we're saying x is less than 4, so it's not including 4, and does not include 4, and it's everything less than that. So with x, so that would be the statement. The negation would be x is greater than or equal to 4. So that would include 4, and it would be everything else. So it's going to be either one or the other, statement or negation. I just moved it down there just to make it easier to see. Okay. The next, convert the symbolic compound statement into words. P represents her name is Lisa. Q represents she lives in Chicago. So P and Q, if we're looking at it like this, if we're saying P, her name is Lisa. Her name is Lisa. And Q, she lives in Chicago. Chicago. And we're saying P and Q. So here, her name is Lisa. Q, she lives in Chicago. So we want to convert this from symbolic to written form. So we would say her name is Lisa. This means and. She lives in Chicago. She lives in Chicago. And that's how you would answer that question. Okay, I'm moving right along. Okay, here we have P is it's Monday. Q is it's raining today. So if I were to write that out, P is it's Monday. Q is it's raining today. Today. And we want not P and not Q. Okay, so this is what we got here, and we want to convert from symbolic to written form. So we would write it's Monday, and again this means and, or it is not Monday, because it's a negation. Instead of Monday, we're going to put it's not Monday. It's not Monday, and it's not raining today. It's not raining today. Okay, and that's how you would answer that. All right, next one. I'll let P represent statement Jim plays football, and Q represents Michael plays basketball. Jim does not play football. So this would be, since P is Jim plays football, this would be not P. And then the rooftop looking symbol, and then one Q. So this would be not P and Q. Alrighty. Conduct a truth table for the statement not R, and not S. Okay, so instead of P and Q, we're using R and S. So we would put R, S, and not R, and not S. Okay, so here's our truth table. And we have true, 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 false, false, true, false, false, just like we would for P and Q. So since R is true, not R is false, and not S is also false. So false and false is false. Okay, the next one, since R is true, not R is false. And since S is false, not S is true. False and true is still false. So R is false, not R is true. S is true, not S is false. So true and false is still false. And if R and S are both false, so not R is true and not S is true. So true and true is true. So this is your answer. Okay. Now on the test, so your answer is false, 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 true. Now on the test, you may see something like this: R, S, not R, and not R. You may see it like this, and not S. And you may see it as true, true, false, true, false, 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 true, false, 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 true. So this column here is squeezed way over to the left. You may see it that way on the test, so don't get confused. That third column is just the answer. Okay. All right. Moving right along. Okay, let's look at the next table. All right, here we have, again, R, P, and S. So we've got P, and let me just see how they arranged it. And the answer, they probably put P first. No, they put S first. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so S is first this time. S, P, and then not S, or parentheses, not P or S. Okay, we got true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. Okay, now go to the board. Okay, this is what we have on our board. So you always do what's in the parentheses first. So S is true. That would be true. And since P is true, not P would be false. So this means or, right? Or. So false or true is true. And since S is true, not S would be false. So false or true is still true. Okay. So actually, let's put this in the lighter blue color. All right. Next, P is false, so not P is true. S is true, so true or true, that's true. And since us is true and not us would be false. So false or true, that's still true. I mean, that's true this time. Okay. So P is true, and so not P is false. S is false, so that's false. So false or false, that would make this false. So since us is false, not us is true. So here we have true or false is true.
Excuse me.
Okay. Okay, so the next one, since P is false, then not P would be true. S is false, so that's false. So true or false would be true. And we said since S is false, then not S would be true. So true or true would be true. So our answer here is false, true, true, true. Okay. And so that's number 14. All right, let's take a look at number 15. And this time we have T and S. Let me just add T. I'm assuming T is going to be first in the table. 15. Yeah, T and S. Okay. So 15, back it up. Okay, so we have here T, S, and we have parentheses T and S, and then or, and then we've got not T and not S. So this is and, or, and. So it helps if you write this out at the top, because it's really easy to get these mixed up. So again, this would be true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. All right. So T is true, and S is true. So true and true, that would make this true. So that, since T is true, not T is false, and not S would also be false. So false and false is false. So now true, now we look at the result from inside each parentheses. True is the result from the left parentheses, false is the result from the right parentheses. So true or false is true. Okay, next one. T is true, S is false. So true and false would make this false. Put a dot there. So if T is true, then not T is false. And since S is false, not S is true. So false and true both have to be true, so that would be false. So here we have false or false is false. Either one of them is true, so it's the only time or is false is when they're both false. Okay, the next one, T is false, S is true, so false and true, they both have to be true, so this is false. So since T is false, not T is true. And since S is true, not S is false. So true and false, that's false, because they both have to be true in order to be true. So now here we have false or false. That is going to be false. All right, one more. So they're both T and S are both false. So this will be false, false. So T, false and false is false. And here we have, since T and S are both false, then not T would be true and not S would be true. So true and true would be true. So now we have false or true would make that true because we only need one or the other. So this is our answer column here. True, false, false, true. All right. Next one. Rewrite the statement using if then. So all children like stuffed toys. So here you could say that if then, here I'm just going to rewrite this, all children like stuffed toys, like stuffed toys. So with, and we want to write that as an if-then statement. Okay, so we want to write this as if P, then Q. So we would look at all children, that's our P, stuffed toys, that's our Q, or like stuffed toys. That's our Q. So we would write this as, we would rewrite this as an if-then statement as if it is a child, then, or if they are children would be another way to write it. If they are children, comma, then they will like stuff, toys. Okay, so that's our if then. We've changed all children like stuffed toys to as if they are children, then they will like toys. Okay, next one. A ship can't sail on land. So, a different color. A ship can't sail on land. Okay, so we want to rewrite that as an if-then statement. So we could say that a ship is the P, and can't sail on land would be the Q. So we want to write this if P then Q. So this we would write this as if it is a ship, comma, then it cannot or can't sail on land. And that would be our if-then statement for that one. Okay. Now here F represents a false statement. So we could write this as a truth table as well. P and Q, we could put 9 is less than 5, and Q is false. So P then Q. So you could write it like this, and where 9 is less than 5. If 9 is less than 5, then false. So 9 is less than 5. Is that true or false? 9 is not less than 5, so that's a false statement. And Q, that's automatically false. So we're saying if false, then false. Well, for a conditional statement, the only thing that's false is if true, then false. Let's look at that again for conditional statement. If P, then Q. Okay, true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. Okay, the only one that's false is if true, then false. All the others are true. And one analogy I like to use, the book likes to use politician and taxes, but I like something that relates more to the students. For example, if P is your friend says he's going to go to the party, and Q, he goes to the party. So it's true that your friend said he's going to go to the party, and it's true he does go to the party, so that's a true statement. If your friend says he's going to go to the party, but he does not go to the party, that's like a lie, right? He said he was going to go, but he didn't, so that's false. It's like a false statement. If your friend says, well, I'm not going to go to the party, but then he does go to the party, it's not lying. He just kind of unexpectedly was able to go. So that's a true statement. So if your friend says he can't go to the party and he doesn't go to the party, that's a true statement because he said he was not going to go to the party and he did not go to the party. So that's a true statement. Okay, so that's one way to remember that. Okay, so the next one, if T, then 2 is equal to 7. Well, 2 is not equal to 7, so that would be if true, then false would be false. That would be a false statement. Okay, next one. So now for these, I like to write out P and Q. So, or R. So R is the puppy is trained. The puppy is trained. And then P, puppy behaves well. Puppy behaves well. And Q, his owners are happy. His owners are happy. Okay, so here we have if not R, then not Q. Okay, so let's look at the board. Okay, R, so we're saying not R. Since R is the puppy is trained, so then not R would be the puppy if, since we're using if-then statement, if the puppy is not trained, comma, then the Q is his owners are. So then if the puppy is not trained, then his owners are not happy. His owners are not happy. Okay. All right, so let's look at the next problem. So the next problem is parentheses R and P. If R then P, then Q. All right, so in this case, here's our board again. So here we would start off with if. R is if the puppy is trained, if the puppy is trained, and P is the puppy behaves well. The puppy behaves well, comma, then, put this down, then Q is his owners are happy. His owners are happy. Okay, so the parentheses, if the puppy is trained and the puppy behaves well, then his owners are happy. Okay. One. If P is true, Q is true, and R is false. Okay, now with three, here we have P, Q, and R. So this would come out, this would produce 8 rows. Well, we're not going to do 8 rows. We're only going to do just one. So we have here P is true, Q is true, and R is false. So we're saying here, we'll start off with not, if not R, then not P. Okay, so since R is false, then not R is true. And P is true, so now P is false. So if true, then false is false. That's the only one that's false for the conditional statements. And that's your answer, false. Okay, so now if we're going to look at the next one, so P, Q, and R are still true, true, and false. And we have here Q or R. If Q or R, then P and Q. All right, so this is what we have. So it helps if we write or and at the top before we start. So here we're saying Q is true, R is false. So true or false would be true. So now we got to do the other principle. P is true, Q is true. So true and true is true. So therefore, if true, then true is true. So our answer is true. Okay. Number 24. Now 24 and 25 are pretty similar to the others. So since R is puppy is trained, P puppy behaves well, Q his owners are happy. So we have here R and if P then Q. So we could say R is puppy is trained. The puppy is trained, comma, and if the puppy behaves well, if the puppy behaves well, behaves well, comma, then Q is his owners are happy. His owners are happy. Okay, so this is what it would look like if you wrote it out. R is the puppy is trained, and if this is an if-then statement, so if the puppy behaves well, then his owners are happy. Okay. And then 25, this would be, since R is the puppy is trained, this would be the puppy is not trained if. So this is an if-then statement, so this would be if the puppy is not trained or the puppy does not behave well, then his owners are not happy. Okay, and that concludes. Don't forget there's your answers. Okay, so when you want to work it out first and then look at the answers and see how you do it. That was how you can maximize your ability to learn from this review. And that's all there is, and have a good day.